is like a sutra, so sutra is like a formula, right? And when something is as condensed as a formula, then the formula can be expanded into many theories. A formula helps you to build so many concepts, and a formula will help you to get so many solutions. Like, for example, in 1915, when Einstein first came out with the relativity formula, E is equal to mc square, right? It was just a formula, but that formula, I mean, it helped in creating the nuclear weapons, but not only nuclear weapons, even nuclear power was generated by that formula. So sutras are very condensed, but then you have to build upon the sutras to come up with concepts which will practically help you in your life. Okay. And Bhagavad Gita is such a powerful book or a conversation that it has 700 such sutras, and they all will give you something or the other, or you can use them to practically implement in our own lives. Now, this problem of procrastinating, right? So procrastinating is basically pushing things ahead. Kar lunga, aaj nahi kal karunga, kal karungi, so that tendency jo hai, that tendency of procrastinating in some degree exists almost in all of us. Uh, I cannot talk about most of you, but I can say about myself, yes. I don't know. आप में से कितने लोगों में आपको लगता है कि you tend to procrastinate things?
Many times.
Right? And I'll tell you which are the things we procrastinate. We procrastinate those things which we are not really sure, firstly. Where we are, ऐसा लगता है कि ये थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट है, तो इसको मैं कल कर लूंगा, या फिर you are expecting some outcome from it, but you're not sure you will get that outcome or not, or the fear of failure is there from that particular task or activity. ये सब चीजें जो होते हैं ना, हम लोग इसको पुश करते जाते हैं. या फिर those activities which I feel, I mean, I don't see a immediate result उसमें से. By doing that, I'm not going to get any immediate benefit or happiness from that. So I will try to push those also. So I mean, so many things you can categorize in that, and we'll be discussing all those things. But this tendency of procrastinating is something which helps, which kind of stops us from developing our own self. So from where does this procrastinating tendency spring from? So if we see Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, slok number 34, there is a shloka where Arjuna is asking Krishna, Chanchalamahi mana Krishna, Pramada Balvadam, So there, Arjuna is very specifically asking about the tendency of the mind. Okay. The mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, very strong. How do I subdue it? Because it is the mind who keeps on, hopping from one thing to another. That mind is the one which gets distracted and which keeps us also distracted. Okay. So the whole purpose is to control the mind. If we are able to control the mind, we can very easily overcome even this tendency of procrastination. So this is a problem statement. So Arjuna gave a problem to Krishna, saying that, see, this is a problem, mind ke ye tendencies hai, so now you tell me a solution to this. And the solution that Krishna gave to Arjuna is, abhyasena to, firstly he acknowledges, yes, whatever you say is correct. I accept that a mind is very, very strong, and by nature also it is chanchala. But Krishna says there is a way you can control the mind. Okay, and how? So he is using two words very clearly, abhyasena and vairagya. So abhyas and vairagya are the two techniques through which you can control the mind. So now we will try to understand this whole concept and the solution, okay, based on these two shlokas. Okay. So now I'll give you the background from where this whole procrastination thing sprung up. Okay. So typically, whenever we have any particular activity or a task assigned, okay, then this is where the whole procrastination theory starts. Now, a college student can relate to it, a school going student can relate to it, and even we can relate to it. For me, how it started, I'll tell you. In the year 2006, 2007, when I was doing my Bhakti Shastri, in our Bhakti Shastri, we used to get these essays, open book. And for the essays, they used to give us a good deadline. Deadline kya hota tha? Okay, in the next 1 year, you have one complete year to do this essay, and wo essay used to be an open book. So I can refer Bhagavad Gita, I can write the essay. So the time they have given is a one complete year. And in that year, they used to give us around 22 essays the humko, ek saath de diye the actually. So we had 22 essays that they had given. So my analytical mind, I was, coming from engineering background, I use statistics, ये वो सब करते करते, so मैंने अपना analysis लगाया, and I said, okay, perfect, 1 year का काम है, so here I have put it in week, but so typically, अगर particular target है, so in first quarter I will complete 25% of the essays, second quarter 50%, third quarter में 75%, मतलब 25% each quarter, and I will be done very smoothly. My perfect planning, Now what happened, because the deadline is for a year, after my first quarter, I realized I completed zero actually, So then I said, no problem, I will revise my targets. So I said, now in the second quarter, I will do 33%, then 66%, then 100%. So मैंने उसको 1/3 कर दिया. I said, no problem, I still have 9 months in my hand, so I will do it. When half of the year passed, I realized I still have not done anything, So I had two quarters remaining. So I said, no problem, 50% abhi karenge, 50% baad mein karenge. And then came the last quarter, where now I had to complete all the 22 essays in that one quarter. Not only that, believe me, I completed those essays in the last month of the submission. And after I completed, matlab aisa kal submission date hai, today I write the final email with attachments and I send it out. And guess what? After I submitted it on the due date exactly, after a week, I get a phone, because hamare time pe the teachers were Radhesham Prabhu and others were the teacher. Directly they were teaching us Bhakti Shastri. So I get a phone from Radhesham Prabhu. He says, Ugra Narsimha Prabhu, I read your essays, and let me tell you, in the history of ISKCON, these have been the best essays that ever have been written, Actually, I never got such a call. I mean, I wish I would have got such a call. But when we do things like this, haphazardly at the last moment, typically we might even complete things, but the quality is not up to the mark. I mean, believe me, we barely cleared the benchmark actually, I forget about they being the best essays, but we barely cleared the benchmark because of this tendency of procrastinating, so yeah, aisa hai. So I realized that, okay, this is a problem now, but I saw that there are some devotees in the temple who don't have this problem. They are so systematic. They do it so well. They are so well organized. So I thought then there is some problem, some problem in me. And when it comes to a problem of thought process, thinking, then brain is involved. So I thought, let me consult to a brain specialist. Okay. So I went to one hospital and I told them that, aisa problem hai, for my tendencies and all those things. But I see that there are some people, especially in my temple, who don't have that tendency. So I want to understand is what exactly is the problem? I mean, do they have a different brain structure than what I have? And guess what? It did. So they did my brain analysis, and I also took one of that devotees, and we did a brain analysis. The brain scan was done, and what they found is that in his brain, they found there was this one person they could locate, and he was a rational decision maker. You know, in the brain of the person of the temple, there was a rational decision maker. And this rational decision maker was making all the decisions, planning, perfect. So I said, what about mine? I mean, hai nahi kya mere isme? And the good news was, yes, there also was a rational decision maker in my brain also. So I was very happy कि चलो मेरा brain तो इसके जैसा है. But the scanner, the person who was scanning my brain, he said, wait a minute, it seems there is one more person in your brain which does not exist in the brain of this devotee. And I was like, what? So he said, there is an instant gratification monkey who sits in your brain, which is not there in the brain of the other person. अब ये instant gratification monkey करता क्या है? Whenever there is a task assigned, like I showed you in the graph, right? That there is a task assigned to me and there is a duration given to me for like a year's duration. So the rational decision maker, he very systematically will plan everything in my brain, you know. नया साल चालू होने वाला है, I will do this resolution, that resolution. You know, this is rational decision maker. But then immediately the instant monkey also jumps. He says, you know what, that's fine, you know, very good plan. But to execute this plan, you know what, I think you need these things. तो मैं वो चेकलिस्ट लेता हूँ कि मुझे क्या क्या चाहिए एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए, एंड आई गो टू द शॉपिंग मॉल एंड आई रियलाइज व्हेन आई कम आउट ऑफ द शॉपिंग मॉल आई हैव शॉप्ड एवरीथिंग अदर देन द थिंग्स व्हिच आई नीडेड. यू नो, इंस्टेंट ग्रेटिफिकेशन मंकी, उसको सिर्फ एंजॉयमेंट चाहिए होता है, and he will keep jumping from one thought to another thought to another, and he will keep me also jumping like that. You know, how many of you ever have experienced that तुम लोगों को कुछ information search करना है इंटरनेट पे, you go on the internet to search that thing, but you end up spending 3-4 hours doing something else, or reading or watching something else on the internet, and then you realize कि अरे मेरे को वो जो information चाहिए वो तो मिला ही नहीं मुझे इसके ऊपर. I mean, any of you ever had this?
Yeah, very true.
Yeah,
Very true.
yes,
And
many
It
times.
that
happens.
is because of this monkey. ये monkey क्या करता है? It shows you, तुमको अलग अलग चीजें दिखाएगा. बोले look at this, अरे ये लिंक देखो, ये this is very interesting article. Let me tell you, you know, ये बंदे को ऐसा गोली मारा है आज कि वो तो जिंदा बचना impossible है. I mean, हिस्ट्री में कभी ऐसे किसी की मौत नहीं हुई है. And I will go and read. I mean, I have nothing to do with this fellow, but still my instant gratification monkey will divert me over there. So this is the tendency of the instant gratification monkey. तो ये जब मेरा ब्रेन उसने दिखाया डॉक्टर ने, तो मैं तो बहुत नाराज हो गया. मैं बोला, oh my god, what about, you know, this is a problem. But I told doctor, you know what, I mean, you talk about this instant gratification monkey who does not allow me to do my things, but I have completed my assignments on, you know, मैंने एक, तुमने मेरे को जो डेडलाइंस मिलता है, I end up mostly satisfying those deadlines. I complete my assignments, tasks on time. भले, you know, लड़ झगड़ के push कर के, but I complete them. So how is that possible? I mean, if you're telling me there is an instant gratification monkey, so how is that possible? So he said, there is one more fellow sitting in your brain. मैं पूछे, अब कौन बैठा है brain में? So he said, there is a panic monster also sitting in your brain. Okay, so there is a third personality in my brain. His name is panic monster. अब panic monster का काम क्या होता है? Normally this fellow sleeps. Whenever a task is assigned, this fellow sleeps always. Rational decision maker plan करता है, monkey jump करता रहता है इधर उधर, and he keeps me diverting. But the moment deadline नजदीक आता है ना, the panic monster का alarm बज जाता है. And the panic monster will come and he will shake both us. You know, monkey को चुप करेगा, rational decision maker को बोलेगा emergency situation, get on the task, get things done. He is the one who creates panic. we get panicked, right? कोई भी बड़ा प्रोग्राम है, क्या है, अरे बड़ा प्रोग्राम है, ठीक है, नो प्रॉब्लम, हो जाएगा, सब कुछ ठीक होगा। लेकिन 2 दिन पहले फिर भागा दौड़, ये इधर दौड़ना है, उधर दौड़ना है, पैनिक मॉन्स्टर, दैट इज द पैनिक मॉन्स्टर विच सिट्स इन आवर ब्रेन। ये अलार्म जब बजता है डेडलाइन का, तो ये पैनिक मॉन्स्टर जाग जाता है। ओके, एंड इट इज दिस पैनिक मॉन्स्टर who most of the time help us to meet our deadline. Might not be with the kind of quality that we expect, but still he is the one who helps us to do that. So I felt good, chalo matlab aur kuch nahi, at least panic monster to hai, so at least I can meet my deadlines. So nothing is, I mean, it's not like everything is lost, there is hope. It's not like a hopeless situation. ठीक है, I mean, a devotee's brain in the temple might be perfect. उसके अंदर monkey भी नहीं है और monster भी नहीं है, मेरे इसमें दोनों है, but still I get my work done, and I'm not in a very bad shape, I felt. So I told that, doctor, I said, it's not, ठीक है, मतलब I understand there is a problem, but still it's not so grave as you think. Okay. So he told me, no, it is a grave problem. I said, why? So he told me, that's what I asked. I mean, my expression was the same, why? I mean, why do you think it's a problem? And he said that if it wasn't for the deadlines, you would not get anything done. Matlab, your panic monster only wakes up for activities which have deadlines. What about activities which don't have deadlines? What do you think? Are there any such activities which don't have deadlines? Any thoughts? कोई ऐसे एक्टिविटीज है जिसको डेडलाइन नहीं है अपने लाइफ में?
So morning में उठना.
Okay, morning उठना. Okay. What else?
Yeah,
Life itself.
हाँ, okay, life itself has no deadline. Yeah, you don't know how long you're going to live. Okay.
in general also we don't have deadlines, no, always.
But I mean, can you call out some specific things?
You want to read Srimad Bhagavatam, or you want to start reading Gita, especially during Chaturmasya. You want to hear some pravachans. You plan to do it every day, but you miss them out because you are not planning properly, or like what you said, Prabhuji.
There's no deadline. Okay, I will show you one quote. This quote is from one of the speeches given by a former CEO of Coca-Cola by the name Brian Dyson. Now, I'll read this out. Imagine life as a game in which you are juggling some 5 balls in the air. You name them as work. So this is 1 ball, family, second, health, friends, and spirit. These are the 5 most important things in our life: work, family, health, friends, and spirit. Spirit is basically spiritual activities. Okay, this is what he has said. And he says, you're keeping all of them in this air. So our whole life, we are just trying to balance these 5 balls. Okay, our पूरे जिंदगी में यही कर रहे हैं हम लोग. You will soon understand that the work, ये जो बॉल है काम का, जिसके पीछे हम लोग बहुत दौड़ते हैं, is a rubber ball. If you drop it by mistake, it will bounce back. But the other 4 balls, family, health, friend, and spirit, they are made of glass. If you drop any one of these, they will be irrevocably scuffed, marked, nicked, or damaged, or even shattered. They will never be the same. You must understand that and strive to balance your life. This is the speech that he has given. Now, out of this, if you see family, health, friends, and devotion, these are the activities which don't have a deadline. Is there any deadline for your family?
No, very true, very true.
Right? So
Yes.
basically, imagine the key things, मेरे life के जो key things है, 80% of those don't have deadlines. That means my panic monster is never going to wake up, and continuously my monkey is going to jump. Panic monster जागेगा ही नहीं, never is going to wake up because deadline ही नहीं है, तो alarm तो बजने ही नहीं वाला है उसका. This is a very concerning situation, because if that fellow doesn't wake up, then there is no growth. Growth in the sense positive, much positive development in my family, in my health, in my relationships with my friends, and even in my devotion in my life. And that is why, we typically, many a times, devotees question पूछते हैं, प्रभु जी हमको अभी इतना साल हो गया भक्ति में आके, लेकिन हमको ऐसा लगता नहीं है कि कुछ आगे बढ़ रहा है, वही चल रहा है, nothing positive is happening, the same thing I feel, the same day one पे मैंने जो सुना था या जो मैं जो situation में था या थी, even today I am at that same place. Why is it? Because I have not progressed only. क्योंकि even though I started my devotional life or something else, मेरा monkey jump करता रहा इतने दिनों तक, इतने सालों तक. I have never woken up that monster fellow actually, या the rational thinker का कभी सुना ही नहीं, वो तो सिर्फ बंदर ही उछल रहा था. And that is the reason we don't start seeing progress in life. Okay. And this is the whole science of procrastination. अगर तुम देखोगे, procrastination is nothing but this, every one of us over here, we make resolutions in our life, we always plan out certain things. ये करना है मुझे, वो करना है, वो करना है, इतने सब कुछ वो बहुत है हमारे जीवन में. But the problem is, the moment we start thinking of that wo, the monkey starts jumping, and when the monkey starts jumping, because we don't have deadlines, the monster never wakes up, and we start jumping on the tune of the monkey. That's what happens, and that is nothing but procrastination. वही हो रहा है procrastination. Okay, so this is like, I have just tried to establish the problem. Any questions till now on this? I move ahead.
Yeah, very well explained, Prabhuji. No question.
Okay, so now we are going to get into the solutioning mode. Okay.
Sorry, Prabhuji. I was
Okay,
not
going
getting.
back.
I have a question.
Yes, Mataji.
See, work, family, health, friends, and spirit. So
Correct.
work is, it bounce back. That I did not understand.
So work I will tell
Work
you
is
something.
like a rubber
I'll
ball, because
yes, I'll give you my personal example, Mataji. With my personal example, I'll tell you. In my career, like, when I started my IT career in computer industry, of course, I started as a junior, we have like the developer and all those things. And after around 6 years of my IT career, I wanted to get into the project management field, first time, but I had zero experience about it, frankly speaking. But theoretically, मैंने बहुत सीखा था उसके बारे में, मैंने कुछ सीख लिया था. So with the help of theory, I was able to crack interview in some company, XYZ company में मैंने वो interview crack किया. When I cracked the interview in that company, and they took me as a project manager, and they put me on an actual project, I committed blunders because I had no experience about project management. Absolutely no experience. I committed blunders. There were escalations. सब कुछ हो गया उसमें. Okay. मतलब इतना वो situation खराब हो गया कि I felt there is no point in staying in this company because there is no, I'm never going to grow. ये company में इतना reputation खराब हो गया है. So I switched job. But when I switched job, I carried this failed experience with me, and in the next job, I did the best. I mean, I got recognized as one of the best project managers. Okay. So it's a rubber ball. Failure in work does not mean you will never succeed. But failure in family, health, friends, and bhakti mein to, yeah, you can say that, there you can bounce back. But when it comes to family, health, friends, it will always keep
be the
scar.
end.
right?
That will be the end. Or maybe
Yeah,
a
कभी
start.
कभी end हो सकता है, या कभी कभी no matter how hard you try to patch up, right? But still those scars will always stay, right? So that is what it is trying to say. That is why these walls are compared. Even bhakti का इसलिए कहा गया है spirit का, because I mean if you don't realize it at a right time, पता नहीं ना बाद में, even if you realize it, your body might not support to do it.
Yes, that I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, so
Yeah, but
that is in that context. Yeah,
yeah. Oh, in that context, you said the rubber ball.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so now I am going to the solutioning thing. Okay, so again, recollecting that shloka of 6th chapter where Krishna is telling Abhyas and Vairagya. So these are the two things that we are going to talk about. So, so Abhyas and Vairagya. So Abhyas, in practice, what are the things that we want to do? Number first one is we want to set goals in our life, which we do actually, right? Most of the times we set goals in our life, इस साल मुझे ये करना है, from this year I will start doing this year I will start doing this, or I want to start doing this. Just like Lakshmi Mataji said that in Chaturmas I want to read Bhagavatam. So goal एक तरह से सेट हुआ है, या मन में तो आया है कम से कम, right? So there is a goal. But then a goal is useless unless and until you start tracking the progress of that goal. Okay. So we want to set goals and we want to start tracking the goal, right? So for example, if I want to complete whatever Bhagavatam in 4 months, then if Bhagavatam has 12 cantos, then logically I should complete 3 cantos per month. Or if I say I just want to complete 1 canto of Bhagavatam, which has say like 40 chapters, then I need to complete at least 10 chapters per month, right? So what you are doing is you're setting a goal, but then you also start setting intermediate goals for you start breaking it and you start tracking it. See, it's a high time that we start using our diaries, जो अपने को मिलते हैं हर साल में, where people give us, or you start creating a tracker board. Like, I have created a tracker board for myself, and I'll show you at the end of this presentation what I have done. But setting up goals and tracking is one of the most important things. जैसे there is a very famous quote saying that which cannot be measured never be improved. That which cannot be measured can never be improved. Unless and until I track, I don't know whether my monkey is active or my rational thinker is active. Okay, so set goals and track. How to do it at a weekly level, will come to the actual practical chart thing. Okay, but first thing, set goals and track, important. Second thing, reflect, acknowledge, and improve. So what I do is, say for example, again I'll come to Mataji's example of, say I want to read 1 canto of Bhagavatam in 4 months, Chaturmas, which has 40 chapters, and I set a goal that every month I have to, that means read 10 chapters at least, and if each month has say like 4 weeks, so almost 2.5, matlab 2.5 chapter per week, right? So that is my goal and tracking that I put over here. So reflect is at the end of every week, I will remove a half an hour where I will analyze कि मैंने जो ट्रैकर में लिखा है, and where am I at this point in time? Why is it so? Why am I at that point? I had put a tracker of 2.5 chapters. Instead of that, I ended up reading only 2 chapters. Or I could read actually 4 chapters, whatever, positive, negative, jo bhi hai. I should do a reflection on that. What are the things that I could actually improve? So reflect, acknowledge. See, I mean, ये अपना self discipline है. This is not for anyone else. So you acknowledge your shortcomings, because only if you acknowledge your shortcomings, then only you can improve. So अपने आप से ही acknowledge करना है, किसी और को नहीं बताना है आपको. You acknowledge them and you put an improvement plan on that so that you come back on track or you progress on track. Okay. So first is set goals and track, acknowledge and improve. And third one is express gratitude. This is very important because anything and everything that we do in our life, it is not possible without the mercy of so many people around us, and most importantly, God. So thanking God for whatever he has given, be it a failure or be it a success, whatever he has given, everything can teach us a lesson. Everything can take us in a positive direction. So expressing that gratitude, that I am grateful to you, Krishna. Why? Because you did this in my life. So that expression of gratitude is very important because that helps us to develop a connection with God. Okay. So express gratitude. I am thankful to you, God. Why? Because you have given me a good health. Because of my good health, I am able to do so many activities. Unfortunately, I am not able to do anything for you. So let me start doing something. But at least you have given me good health. Thank Krishna for that. Or kuch nahi to, I mean, after I came from America, I started thanking God that thank you, God, you brought me in India. Now I have get fresh food to eat at least. So you can start thanking for so many things actually. So it's a good habit of expressing gratitude. Okay. And then Krishna says vairagya. Vairagya from what? So vairagya. So when we discussed, the root cause of procrastination is most of the times it is the fear factor, or it is the difficulty in doing a particular activity, or it is the tendency of enjoying a success behind that activity, because of which we most of the times keep pushing things. So let me develop vairagya from success and failure. Bhagavad Gita Shloka 2.47, Karmanyevadika raste ma phaleshu kadachin. That shloka is what? It is nothing but renunciation. Krishna is saying, I mean, don't be attached to the fruits of your activities, right? You just start doing your activity. So if I don't worry much about the success and failure of the activity, but I only focus on doing the activity in a proper manner, then automatically it will fall in place. See, not just, I mean, see, only isse nahi, ye thought process se kaam nahi chalega. You need to have a practical process on ground to do this. So do this without worrying about success and failure. Why? Because success is a journey, it's not a destination, right? Even if you succeed, I mean, that is not a full stop, right? Many people, लोगों के life में क्या होता है? The moment you do something very successfully, फिर लोग एकदम relax हो जाते हैं कि oh nice, now I don't have to worry about anything else. अब मुझे इसमें और कुछ नहीं करना है, it's that kind of thing. So success is not a journey, but it is a destination. Okay, we'll further elaborate on this. So itna clear hai kya? I mean, I have not yet completed the solution. Okay, by the way, this is just a part of the solution. Kya karna hai mujhe? What I should be doing. I should be setting goals, tracking them. I should reflect on what I have achieved and whether my goals are really correct, or I need to see. Sometimes aisa bhi ho sakta hai ki, in a haste, someone might think ki, I will study like, entire Bhagavatam in 4 months. But then in first week only you realize ki, I can't complete the entire Bhagavatam in 4 months. So I need much more time for that. Revise your goal, no problem. I mean, so that is also reflection, right? Don't unnecessarily, kabhi kabhi kya hota hai ki the goal itself is so difficult that in middle path only you give up the thought only of doing that activity. You feel forget it, ye to hone hi nahi wala hai. So then what's the point in chasing? And then zero pay, then you are doing absolutely nothing. No, we don't want to do that. And that is why this reflection is important. Reflection is basically realigning your goals. Okay, you start realigning whether I am on track. If I am not on track, can I go on track? If there is no way I can go on track, then let me, change the goal itself, so that at least I can achieve something. Clear? Is this clear up to now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, now I'm going to the next part. We talk about self-discipline. So इससे पहले we talked about the process, but that process, उस process को implement करने के लिए भी we need self-discipline. If you are not disciplined, you know the process, but वो process ही रहेगा. You need to apply that in your life, and to apply that in your life is basically self-discipline. But what do you need for self-discipline? Okay, so the number first thing is determination. Be determined. See, many a times when we hear or watch some very motivational videos, तो अपने को लगता है कि yes, this is right, this is what I need to do, this is what will give me happiness, this is what will give me success, right? So एक अब motivation का trigger आ गया है, but that motivation trigger, if not tapped at that moment, it will die down. It will die down over a period of time. Okay, like I'll give you a simple example. ये जो process है, it is not that this process, I mean, I learned only now. I have been knowing this process for long time back. But क्या होता था? Sometimes you try to perfect everything on day one. कि मुझे अभी ये प्रोसेस इंप्लीमेंट करना है, इसके लिए मुझे ये चाहिए, ये चाहिए, ये चाहिए, ये चाहिए. ओके, अब to bring these things, either I need money or I need time or I need to go at some particular place. Okay, but my busy schedule doesn't allow me to do this. Okay, then what do you do? Okay, after a month I have planned my vacation. In that vacation I will go and I'll buy these things and I'll implement. Okay, so ये सब decide कर लिया. अब क्या हो गया? By the time your vacation comes, वो जो motivation था जिसके वजह से you wanted to achieve that goal, वो zero हो चुका है. You say forget it, vacation आया है, let me go enjoy in some nice resort, go on a sea beach, do all those things. खत्म, कुछ नहीं होता है, right? We don't want that. We want to be very determined and start with what you have. You can always keep improving. You don't have to be perfect on day one, but be determined to start. I want to improve from today. That tendency आना बहुत जरूरी है. That determination, that today is the day, that's it. I don't want to start it from coming Monday. I don't want to start it from 1st of next month. Yeah, 2023 1st January. No, I want to start it from to the next movement. It might be today itself or tomorrow morning, whatever jo tumko dalna hai, but start it immediately. That determination is very important. Okay, so be determined. Second thing is maintain momentum. When we start any particular activity, it is very necessary that the momentum continues without breaks. Like, I'll give you example. In the exercise world, I remember, in my childhood, when I used to go to this, मैं पहले exercise करने के लिए तालीम में जाया करता था. That time gyms were not there. I mean, at least in the Pet area, सोमवार पेट, जहाँ पे मैं पला बड़ा, वहाँ पे तो नहीं था. I'm talking about year 1993. So इतना उस वक्त gyms वगैरह नहीं था, लेकिन तालीम वगैरह था. तो उस वक्त है ना, वहां पे जो पहलवान लोग थे, they were very disciplined fellows actually, and they used to tell us, even if on a day, if you feel sick or if you feel very tired, if you feel that I don't want to do exercise, still come, आके बैठो सिर्फ चाहिए तो. Even if you don't want to do exercise, come and sit over here, but don't break the momentum of not coming, मतलब of coming here regularly. Why? Because the moment, जिसको हम लोग cheat day बोलते हैं, sometimes we say that, okay, I have been doing this for now almost like 2 weeks. एक दिन ब्रेक लेता हूँ, but that break actually breaks your momentum. And when you stop, then to start again is a mammoth effort. To start again is a mammoth effort. It's not a normal effort. It's a mammoth effort, actually. You know, I mean, you can talk with the chain smokers. I have had, you know, many friends in my life who have this tendency of smoking, and many a times, you know, they have been telling me that, you know, I I'm planning to give up this habit. Or some of them have said, you know what, एक महीना हो गया मैंने अभी तक सिगरेट को छुआ नहीं है, अभी तक सिगरेट को छुआ नहीं है. And then one fellow comes and he says, अरे ठीक है ना यार, I mean, आज एक पी ले, फिर कल से वापस चालू कर. The day he breaks it, the day that momentum stops, finish, you know, again that habit starts. Because see, when you understand, breaking momentum is not just about not doing that activity at that time, but breaking momentum is also about doing something else which gives you a different kind of taste and happiness, which can become addictive and which can break you from your discipline. Okay, that is what you're doing. When you give a break, you are giving a taste of something which you should not be giving. And that the moment that taste is given, it's difficult. It's like, you know, बोट अच्छा चल रहा है पानी में, let me drill one hole. एक होल से क्या फर्क पड़ने वाला है? Well, immediately कुछ नहीं पड़ेगा, but over a period of time, the boat will sink, and that is what happens. So momentum is very, very important. When you, इसलिए हम लोग devotees को बोलते हैं ना, when devotees they start chanting initially, when they come into Krishna consciousness and they start chanting, so we tell them, see, it is not necessary you start chanting 16 rounds, you know, on day one. If you want to chant one round, but maintain that one round. If you go on 1 to 2, make sure you're chanting 2 regularly, you know. Don't do that. आज एक किया, कल 16 किया, फिर 8 पे आया, फिर 4 पे, फिर 1 पे आया. If you start doing this kind of stuff ना, सब कुछ बंद हो जाएगा. Over a period of time, सब कुछ बंद हो जाएगा. Take it gradually, but at no point break the momentum at any cost. That is discipline. You know, hum log discipline, you know, like today I was, you know, talking with Hari Bhakti, and I was telling her this one incident. Actually, I just happened to get one short clips. Aajkal, you know, on WhatsApp chat and so many things, people will circulate. So there was this one short clip. This clip was about this guy, actor, John Abraham, right? He's one of the fitness freak guys. You know, he's, I think, more than 50 years now age, but very fit guy. And the other guy, he was trying to you know, tell this guy that he was trying to tempt him. He was saying that, you know, if I give you 1 lakh rupees to eat a gulab jamun, will you eat it? And John was saying, no, I won't eat it, and so forth. So there was such discussion going. And one of the questions then he asked is, do you even like sweets? You know, he asked John, because he was not ready to take only sweets. So he said, well, I love Kaju Katli. You know, that he showed like this, you know, I love this Kaju Katli very much. I mean, that's my favorite, he said. And he said, oh, wow. So you eat Kaju Katli? He said, the last one I ate was 25 years back. So it was amazing. I mean, liking a particular thing does not mean you indulge in it, you know. 25 years, I mean, he has been disciplined enough to not eat it, you know. Ab wo sahi hai, galat hai, I mean, I don't want to get into that discussion part of it. But the point I am trying to emphasize over here is about discipline, you know, how discipline is maintained. I mean, at no point, you know, apna tendency kaise hota hai, हाँ चलो, I like this particular thing. For last 1 month, I have not eaten. एक दिन से क्या फर्क पड़ता है? आज, you know, today is a special occasion, my birthday, or, you know, a special occasion in my family. Today I will eat it. कल से वापस उपवास चालू करूंगा उसके ऊपर. नहीं होता है. You will see many a times you end up breaking. I mean, I don't know, any of you had this experience? you started something and I mean बहुत दिनों तक you maintained it, but on one particular occasion you broke it and then उसके बाद में वापस you ended up in the same thing.
Yes, Prabhuji, बहुत experience है.
Yeah. So I will tell you, I mean, there have been many things in my life where I have seen this happening. That itne dinon tak I have been able to maintain discipline on that. But then all of a sudden on a particular day, you break the discipline and then you go back to the old habit again and again. So I have started doing something very differently now, and hopefully it works. At least till now, it has been working very well. What I have done is, every time you feel like doing something, you will realize that there has been some motivation behind that thing, right? कोई ना कोई तो motivation होता है जिसके वजह से we feel doing something. Capture that motivation. Maintain that as your library. Capture that motivation factor. Okay, don't let it go anywhere. And now what I do is, even if the thought, forget about breaking discipline, even if the thought of breaking the discipline comes in my mind, I immediately refer back to that motivational event, yeah, the motivational literature, yeah, the motivational video, or whatever it is in my library. I again go through it, just to tell my mind that no way I am going to break this discipline. Okay. Even if the thought comes, I'm saying don't even wait till the action gets performed. Thought bhi man mein aaya na, refer back to the motivation. You will see it is a very powerful tool to keep you on track. But for that, you have to ensure you are capturing motivation. Okay. You are capturing motivation. See, all these things, ऐसा लगता है कि अरे ये क्या लिखापटी का काम है, you know, track करो, फिर motivation को capture करो. Well, unless you do all these things, you cannot maintain this discipline and all these things. You know, if you have to do this, you have to measure and do it. And believe me, I mean, you go through all the successful people, I mean, so-called materially successful people. I mean, spiritually to hey, I mean, Srila Prabhupada and, you know, so many spiritual gurus, if you see, their lives have been so disciplined and they write their own diaries. You know, the concept of writing diaries kya hai? That is an indirect way of doing or direct way of doing the same thing actually, you know. So that is what they used to maintain diaries. I mean, diaries में हम लोग you know movies में जो देखा है कि मेरे साथ ये हुआ था और मेरे प्यार की ये कहानी है वो कहानी, वो सब नहीं लिखते हैं लोग. You know, diaries are not meant for that. I mean, it's not just about your life का ये. Diaries are about those events which have had some impact in your life, positive, negative, whatever it may be. You know, and what you want to achieve and all those things. That is what diaries are all about actually. You know. So if you see all the great people, they have this habit in common. So then, is it that the great people have this habit, or is it this habit makes them great? That is a question, you know. And I think if we can actually inculcate this habit in our life, you will start seeing positive differences in so many things. Okay. So be determined, maintain momentum for discipline. Third thing, accelerate. You know, acceleration, you will see a compound effect. Now I'll tell you what acceleration I mean over here. When you are doing a particular activity, say for example, I decide that on a daily basis, I am going to read for 30 minutes or 40 minutes. You decide on that. Okay. If you are consistently able to do it for 30-40 minutes, say for 1 week, 2 week, 4 weeks, try to accelerate further. Matlab kya? Ki instead of doing it for 40 minutes, try doing for 45 minutes. Basically, you're just adding those 5 minutes. But what you will realize is what you gain in those 5 minutes is far more than starting back from zero. It's like this. मान लो, if I want to give a shape to a iron rod, लोहे का सली है, उसको मेरे को shape देना है. I heat it up in fire, it becomes red hot. Now when it is red hot, I give it, blows, hammer blows, and I give normally 10 blows मैं देता हूँ. Today I want to give a 11th blow to give it a final touch. Now if I give that 11th blow, it will give it a beautiful shape. But imagine if I don't give the 11th blow today, and tomorrow I want to do that same thing, then I have to reheat the iron, bring it back to that stage of hotness, and then again start giving the blows. So what happens is, when you are already in a momentum, okay, then if you accelerate even slightly, that slight acceleration will have a significant compound effect. Okay, and that is what we also call as improvement. Okay, but acceleration has to be followed with a momentum. Okay, just शुरुआती acceleration से मत करना, वो accident के साथ end हो जाएगा. Okay, so start with a momentum, start the activity, maintain a momentum, and then accelerate. When you accelerate with the momentum, the effect is immense. It has multifold effect actually. Okay, so this is self-discipline. So previous slide may, okay, in the previous slide I talked about the process of what to do. In this slide I am talking about how to do, or what is required for that. Be determined, you want to improve, maintain a momentum. Okay, make sure you're not making any cheat days. Okay, I mean, you should avoid doing that. It's very difficult to come back after having a cheat days. And the third thing is accelerate. Okay, so accelerate, you will see improvement. Now what I will show you is what I am doing in my day-to-day life. Okay, so if you see, this is, I took a picture, actually image of my board. So what I have done over here is I put some goals over here. So if you see, I've put some goals over here for myself, that I want to read a particular book, and by this date, I in my physical activities, okay, I want to ride for 175 kilometers. This is like a monthly goal I kept for myself. This is something about my music that I am learning. I want to learn particular ragas and all those things, and I want to read a particular book, and I want to, in my work life also, I want to do some certification. So I have given some dates to this. But in order to achieve these dates, I need short-term goals also, क्योंकि ये तो महीने के goal है. So I need weekly goals. So what I've done is, I have prepared a chart: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the target. This T stands for the target for the week, and A stands for achieved, what I have achieved. So I have said, okay, one of my activities is every week, every day I want to wake up at 4 a.m. Okay, so what is the target? The target for me is all 7 days I want to do that. What do I achieve? I can maintain it over here, saying that, okay, I could achieve it only for 5 days or 6 days, whatever it might be. Because this achieved column will then help me to reflect, what did I achieve, what I could not achieve, and why I could not achieve, and all those things. That is reflection. Similarly, I talk about social media, checking WhatsApp, Instagram, blah blah blah, Facebook, jo bhi hai, how much time I am spending on this. So I put a target over here. See, the other thing that helps, I'll tell you, is, or what helped me is, the day I prepared this table and मैंने जब लगा दिया इसको मेरे board के ऊपर, I became conscious of the activity. It brings in that consciousness also, because you start displaying and तुम्हारे आंखों के सामने रहता है हमेशा. So when I say, oh, daily I can spend maximum 30 minutes, I don't want to put more than 30 minutes, then I am very cautious even when I open that particular application, that, oh, I can't sit on this for long time. So जो भी है वो fast करके निकल जाओ इसमें से. I can't just keep checking stuff, all those things. Similarly, you start putting all your activities. I have put mine, yours could be different, and whatever you feel, but start tracking them. Put some targets for that, what those targets could be, like my reading thing, or how much time I want to hear on a particular day in terms of minutes, hours, whatever you want to do. ये सब तुम जब डालोगे, this is what you are tracking. This is the short term, weekly target. This weekly target will culminate into a monthly target, and a monthly target will culminate into a yearly target. So if you see over here, I have another chart which is a backlog. Backlog is nothing but my desire, मेरे wishes, या resolutions, जो भी आप कहो कि मेरे साल का. And then for that I have said that okay, these are my goals. So those वो goals I will put over here, and then I will say okay, which of the goals they are in progress, which of the goals I have completed. Because even seeing certain things complete, like for example, there was this one book I wanted to read it in the month of August, but I completed it much before, ahead of time. And I was happy to do that. And I could mark it. Okay, it's done over here. So I mark it completed. So when you start seeing these columns, it also gives you a self-motivation that yes, there I am achieving things. I am progressing. That is a self-motivation in itself. Okay, so this is just I can tell you is a small practical example of how I am implementing it. Is this the best way of doing it? No, I mean, there could be many better ways. I found it useful, and I am finding significant improvement in my activities, day-to-day activities that I am doing, and I see that things are improving much better. So I'm continuing with that. But I mean, if I find a better way more, of course I will keep revising. So it's like that. But I just wanted to give y'all or share with you all this experience of mine, along with the practical application. Because see, again, Bhagavad Gita is not a theoretical book. Bhagavad Gita is a very, very practical book, provided we are ready to apply that in our life. If you apply all the things, abhyas, vairagya, it all makes sense. If we don't apply, then we still think it's just some mythological book. Okay, so I mean, with this I stop talking, and now I open it up with all of you for any questions, suggestions, thoughts. Was it any helpful? I mean, I don't know. Most of you are on the peak of your careers and successful people. So some of you might already be doing this, but I hope something was useful.
Wonderful ideas. Yes,
Yes,
wonderful, wonderful. Yes.
Yeah.
but we were not doing like this, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Means I think this systematic way is very important.
Yeah.
But somehow it
Mataji,
was
I saw this on your son's board when I had come to your home.
yeah.
आपने मुझे
My
उनका
son,
desk दिखाया था, and he
yeah,
had this, something like this
Anish
on the
does
desk.
that. Anish
Yeah.
does that.
Yeah,
Anish
I'd seen this.
always does. Now also
Yeah.
he does. But we could not do because I think in the medical practice, it doesn't complete the way you think. Many a times, like suppose, for example, patient was there, say for the delivery patient comes, and we expect that she will deliver by 6 hours, and then you can achieve the things, whatever you are scheduled for the day. And that patient takes maybe 10 hours, 12 hours, sometimes 18 hours. She goes into complication, and then 2-3 days you have been completely engrossed with that patient.
Correct.
Total.
Correct.
Or so, because it's so dependent on things.
No, Mataji, uncertainty will exist, right?
तो
That
यहाँ
is the
पे
nature of
आपने
this
कहीं
world.
पे यहाँ पे आपने कहीं पे अनसर्टिनिटी को कॉलम नहीं है या उसको कैसे
Uncertain.
रेक्टिफ
No, so that's what, if you recollect, I mentioned that reflection is the time where you account
yes,
this
yes, yes.
uncertainty
You
and you
should,
revise
you
your
said,
goals. And you
yeah, you
revise your
said
goals.
it.
Yeah.
वो में क्या होता है, बट एक बार रिवाइज, 2 बार रिवाइज, 3 बार रिवाइज के बाद में you yourself start feeling जाने दो अभी, क्या कितनी बार रिवाइज करो.
So that is why I mean, see,
ते नहीं होना चाहिए.
reflection, I mean, you have to be very, very true for yourself, and I mean, put such goals that look achievable also. मतलब पहले ही डराने वाले goals मत डालो अपने लिए, you know.
हाँ,
Simple
छोटे
goals
छोटे करो,
रखो. हाँ,
simple
simple goals
करो,
रखो. That you know, you
simple,
the
yes,
goal
yes.
could be as simple as ये महीने में मैं एक chapter of भगवद गीता पढ़ूंगा, बस.
हाँ,
Forget
अभी
about entire Bhagavad Gita. One chapter of Bhagavad Gita. There 30 shlokas are there or 60 shlokas. That means per day I have to just read 2 shlokas. Simple goal. You know, see how that
और
goal goes.
और एक चीज थी जैसे आपने बोला, दैट वाज एब्सोल्युटली परफेक्ट एंड सो राइट. इट इज मोमेंटम के पहले एक्सेलरेशन नहीं होना चाहिए.
हाँ.
दैट वाज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज वो ना उसका पेस ही नहीं रहता वो. दैट आई फुल्ली एग्री टू यू.
Yes.
मुझे ना एक चीज और चाहिए थी कि जैसे हाउ डू यू डील विद दिस सिचुएशन. लाइक you are absolutely rational. You have put up the goals and accordingly much before than the goals. Like for example, I'm telling the Bhakti Shastri. So I did that. Whenever you said initially, I said no, I have to complete that, and I did that complete work absolutely. First unit ka both the things.
Correct.
And I submitted also to you.
Yes. Yes.
But then now second unit I have not done that, and tell you why I did not do that. What I looked at everybody and I said nobody has been
Nobody is
giving
doing.
that.
तो मैं क्यों करूँ?
And मैंने बोला फिर ठीक है, चलता है ये. And my mind said कि चलो ठीक है अभी.
हाँ. That
So
is where this
ये
renunciation part comes. अभ्यास and
हाँ,
वैराग्य. You
तो उसको
don't
क्या
have
करना
to
चाहिए?
depend. हाँ, तो see I mean this is how Krishna's shlokas are so perfect, you know. He has not only covered the abhyas part of it, he is also saying vairagi. अरे don't worry about whether बाकी किसी ने किया है नहीं किया. That is your abhyas. You do it ना. Your success or failure is
लेकिन
not
that वो
dependent on someone else.
आपका वो जो क्या है मंकी,
हाँ.
वो मंकी ने मुझे फंसाया वो.
हाँ, तो वही तो
और
वो
मैंने वो टारगेट कंप्लीट नहीं किया. बट दैट आई वांटेड टू नो कि वो ऐसे होना नहीं चाहिए एक्चुअली, है ना.
correct. Yeah.
एसोसिएशन में
So,
वो भी.
and it will not happen, Mataji, if you are tracking. See, what happens is when you are not
करेक्ट
tracking
करेक्ट करेक्ट
your
करेक्ट
goals,
करेक्ट करेक्ट.
but then you just see, you know, लोग tendency क्या चल रही है लोगों में, you know, लोग ये इसके पीछे दौड़ रहे हैं तो मैं भी दौड़ूंगी. But no, where is my goal? Where is my track? You know, if I have my goal in front of me, if I have my tracker in front of me, then I can
नो
immediately find out whether I am deviating or not.
या नहीं, मेरा क्या होता था, आई यूज टू फील दैट कि मैंने कर दिया लेकिन इसका एक्नॉलेजमेंट या मीन्स इसका
हाँ.
कोई वैल्यू किसी को भी नहीं है.
So
तो
that is
ठीक
this
है,
renunciation part of it. You
हाँ
know?
तो ठीक है, फिर मैं थोड़ा अपने आप आराम से करूंगी. तो दैट वाज माय लैग बैक. तो
Correct.
ये मुझे पता नहीं चल रहा था कि whether I'm right in that sense or I'm not. Usually I'm very particular. It's
Yeah.
like
But
goals के
yeah,
accordingly, but ये नहीं होता कभी कभी.
yeah. And
You are
actually
right.
कैसा है, the moment
इसको
we
ट्रैक
continue
चाहिए.
our practice without I mean worrying about this piece of it,
Yes,
we
yes,
see
yes.
we maintain our progress. See, I am doing my work. If someone else is not doing theirs, I still continue to progress. But seeing that that person is not doing, I also stop doing. Like, you know, I'll tell you a simple example. हमारे ऑफिस में ये बहुत बार होता है, with especially हमारे इधर जब अप्रेजल साइकिल चलता है, salary appraisals, so sometimes some people get good salary hikes, some people don't get good hikes. जिनको हाइक नहीं मिलता है वो ऐसे एकदम रो के आते हैं, you know, कि मैं क्यों काम करूं, you know, I don't want to now work like this, ये मैं वो सब नहीं करने वाला हूँ. But many a times I ask these people, by not working, नुकसान किसका है? Is the organization going to suffer or you are going to suffer? Because eventually it is your personal loss because you are stopping
Yes.
your own learning, you know.
I agree.
Rather, you continue your stuff now, and if the organization is not cooperating with you, then you go to a different organization. Just because the organization is not cooperating doesn't mean I also stop my growth. That is wrong. Okay.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed.
Okay. Okay, anyone else has any points, discussion things? So you
Prabhu,
think we can, yeah.
yeah, sorry, Prabhuji. You were telling about the library of motivation. Na? That
हाँ
point
हाँ हाँ
I may not understand, or that's why
हाँ.
I'm asking.
So
आपने
I'll,
बोला कि yeah, जो हमने मोटो है, जो what is your determination and
हम्म,
your cheating action, उसमें तो
हम्म,
fraction of seconds का ही कुछ अंतराल रहता है. Then how
हम्म,
to recall that motivational library and how to prevent that?
right.
Because
So see, normally कैसे होता है, if you already are maintaining a discipline, see for a person जिसकी habit अभी भी strong है and he has not even started on the path, I mean the cheating will come immediately. But for a person who is now, he is maintaining a particular discipline. Okay, so I'll give you example. Say for example, there is a chain smoker. Okay, the chain smoker is saying that, okay, for I'm going to stop smoking, and he has been able to maintain this habit for now a month or 2 months. So when he is maintaining this habit, that also means he does not carry cigarettes in his pockets, right? तभी तो वो maintain कर पाएगा. Keeping a cigarette in the pocket, he cannot maintain that thing, right? So I mean, you can safely assume कि उसके pocket में तो cigarette नहीं है. So now even if he wants to smoke, he has to move out of his house or office wherever he is and go to that point to at least get that cigarette and smoke. Okay, so there is a significant lag between the thought and the action. एक रहता है. That lag could be in minutes, that lag could be in hours, whatever it is. Most of the times you will find that when you are trying to break a particular habit and you have been able to maintain a discipline for that at least for a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is, then when you are trying to now break that discipline, at least 3-4 times your mind will say, should I not, should I not, wo hota hai, that experience comes. It is at that moment, many a times for the people who break the discipline, उनके साथ ये होता है कि they forget the motivation that made them do this. But if you have that motivation captured and you know that the moment my mind starts tricking me, the first thing I want to do is I want to go back to my motivational stuff. Then, like I normally maintain this documents only है मेरे पास, ये चीज अगर मेरे को छोड़नी है तो उसके related क्या है motivational things. And the moment that thought comes, I go back and I read that document. And the document will say that ये करोगे तो ये होगा, वो होगा, वो होगा, वो होगा, blah 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 blah. वो सब पढ़ने के बाद फिर mind ये हो जाता है, okay, nothing doing. At least you are giving yourself a chance to not break the discipline. That's how it is, Mataji.
yeah, understood.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, about tracking or tracking the goals. So, वो progression कितना हुआ है, that we need to see, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's very nice.
Yeah, and let me tell you, putting this on a table and putting the tracker, it does not take more than 5 minutes. When you start daily doing this na, 5 minutes से ज़्यादा नहीं लगता है. But at the same time, the satisfaction that you get end of the day after meeting your objectives and end of the week after meeting that, oh, I have actually achieved so much, is way significant. I mean, it is very, very क्या बोलते हैं, it really boosts your confidence like anything. You really feel a sense of achievement.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. When I gave this session, to our other group, so that time there was one Prabhuji, he said, Prabhu, this is very wonderful, but इसको हम लोग सॉफ्टवेयर पे कर सकते हैं क्या? मतलब in the mobile ही मैं I can enter this. So I said this is the monkey jumping, because ये monkey यही काम करता है. The moment you start sophisticating things, कि मैं इसको अगर सॉफ्टवेयर बना दूं, तो now you will wait for the software, or you will try to go on the portal to find if there is any such software, and वो ढूंढते ढूंढते you will end up finding 100 different things, and that's where the monkey has satisfied his thirst. So don't allow the monkey to jump. Keep things simple. Go back to a traditional way of living.
प्रभु जी, वो पहली
Yeah.
स्लाइड देखो, वो ब्रेन की स्लाइड दिखाओ.
हाँ हाँ जा, ये वाला.
हाँ, ये वाला. और एक मिनट है प्रभु जी, इसके बाद वाला
This
नहीं.
one.
हाँ, ये वाला चाहिए. ये आपने माय ब्रेन इज इन हाई स्कूल ऐसे क्यों लिखा है?
और
Because of
ये
this.
मैंने एक इमेज कॉपी किया माता जी. I just copied one image, so that
Okay,
image
okay,
had my brain in high school.
okay, okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can see this website
हाँ, हाँ.
waitbuy.com. I just copied the image.
No, but very thoughtful. Truly.
Yeah.
Tracking, auditing is important actually.
Yeah.
My younger one was doing constantly this, and he has achieved.
Yeah, and
But
I mean, you will see anyone who is doing this now, they definitely, I mean, are way far ahead of others. And forget about anyone else doing it. Even if you start, I am telling you, सिर्फ एक महीना आप लोग ये प्रैक्टिस करके देखो. Just एक महीने के लिए देखो, and you tell me the outputs कि कैसे, what you have achieved in that month. Believe me, you yourself will acknowledge what you have achieved.
yes,
Just try it, for 1 month and see
no.
what
See,
miracles it creates.
yeah, we see the difference now. See, we in India we have lot of patients, huh? But whenever it comes to the evidence-based practice, or somebody has to, ये line of treatment होनी चाहिए, ये line of treatment, ये सब बाहर के देश से आता है. Why that happens? Because they completely audit their everything.
Correct.
हम ना सब कुछ, हम भी बहुत ही अच्छा करते हैं. इनफैक्ट we are far ahead in the experience because number is there, but from that number we don't sit back and analyze things by just looking at proper number.
Correct.
And that is what is, I think, the auditing very important.
Yeah,
Very
because we
important.
just try to be
At least
sporadic in
life
nature.
में अपने life में तो करना चाहिए.
Yeah, that's why self development.
ओके प्रभु जी, मुझे थोड़ा लीव करना पड़ेगा.
Sure माता जी.
दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी.
धन्यवाद माता जी. Yeah. Anyone else has any other thoughts?
Prabhuji, I have one question. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, you're talking about goals, setting goals. So first we have to, decide the goal of 1 month, right?
Yeah, I mean, you decide. Like, for example, what I did is I had some immediate goals which I wanted to achieve, and this is what I could think. And I put, so if you see, this is not really a monthly goal, like 24th October, but because there is a yatra coming on this, so I wanted to make sure I read CC, before that. So like that. So you decide whatever it is, like, this is September, but then make sure that this goal जो भी आप यहाँ डालते हो उसका weekly में translate हो, so that week on week you are able to see the progress in that. If you are not able to do this, then मेरा वो पहला slide है ना, वो graphs वाला, वही होने वाला है फिर वो.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Yeah, see this slide I was talking about. If you don't break the goal on a weekly thing and track them, then same thing होने वाला है, लाल डंडा दिखेगा फिर. Okay, any other questions, doubts? Okay, so we'll stop here. I mean, thank you so much for your time and attention. I just wanted to present this. If you feel anything later also you want to share, discuss, or correct me, I mean, feel free to call me, ping me, and we can definitely discuss. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Dandavat pranam,
Prabhuji,
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Dandavat.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare
Dandavat pranam.
Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna.